Wow, that's a quick little open there. Welcome to Mornings with James. I like to start each and every show with something to get your day started. And I simply want to say this to this morning. No matter what, you have control of your day. Make today a great day. I know we get inundated with so much. We have to go to work and have to deal with nasty bosses or just nasty employees and all kinds of stuff that can be going on in our life. But I want you to make a conscious effort today to say, you know what? No matter what, I'm determined to have a good day. If you start to get off on a bad note, you can turn it around right now. And if you get in a bad way later on in the day, somebody try to mess with you and tug at you, you can turn it around. Take a deep breath and say, you know what? It's going to be a good day, and turn that thing around because you can do it. I believe in you, and I know that you can do it because I'm going to try today myself. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I say it is necessary. We have to be determined to have good days. Yes, we are going to have things we have on our mind. We're going to worry about stuff, but sometimes we really, not sometimes, but all the time, we need to give it to God and let him handle it. Put it in his hands. Like I said, easier said than done, but that's what it's all about, activating our faith and trusting God in the process. So good morning and welcome to Mornings with James. This is a test episode, and the next few days I may do a couple of more episodes just to see if I'm going to do this more. And if I do it more, it'll be a 4-day program, Monday through Thursday, a quick show, not even a full hour, or even 30 minutes, just a quick show with Mornings with James. And you can guarantee that you're going to have a show filled with inspiration, motivation, and encouragement to get your day started. That's the whole premise of this show, to encourage, motivate, and inspire. So get your cup of coffee and get ready because we're going to have a lot coming up in just a minute. So this show will highlight the good stories that may not be told or are told in tangent. There's not really a lot on your newscast. And a lot of times when you look at the news, you get all kinds of bad news. Social media got all kinds of bad news. You got so many different things that's going on that's bad. And I want to highlight what's good. So what I'm going to do is highlight some stories, some feel-good stories. They can be stories of rescues. It can be stories of good deeds. It can be even stories of entertainment, such as what's at the box office, what's the biggest shows at the box office, what's playing, what's good, what's good to watch, stuff like that. Those are things that make you smile. Those are things that give you joy. Those are things that make life all right. And so we're going to highlight those things. And then in my second segment, I'm going to have what we call the Journey with James Quick Bite. I'm going to give you a quick word of encouragement from my maybe Journey with James archives, because I've been doing this for years. So I have some vlogs where I give you something, maybe a story about me or my journey and how I might give you some encouraging words to help you. But that's the second segment that we're going to have each and every day. Journey with James Quick Bite. And then we're going to end the show with the question of the day from you, the viewer. Question that you may have for me and want my perspective on. I don't always get everything right, but I can at least give you my perspective and my journey and what I would do, or whatever question you may have, I can answer it for you from my perspective, okay? So without further ado, let's go and get things started. We have the good news of the day segment first. Here's some good news. Well, just last month, just a few weeks ago, actually, recently, a bus driver, in fact, in Wisconsin, was able to rescue a toddler that was found on the street, barefooted on the street. And it's a story of going into action and helping one another. And I love to see these kind of stories. But the crazy thing is, he doesn't feel like he's a hero. Let's take a look at this.
To warn other drivers and then pulled over to grab that child. The boy was barefoot and only wearing a pajama shirt.
I instantly thought of my kids, and I was happy to treat that boy like my son at that time. A lot of people saying, you a hero that day. I didn't look to be a hero that day. I didn't look to protect a little boy that day, and I'm happy that I was able to do that.
Wow, he was happy he was able to do that. It's just a good feel-good story. So these are the kind of stories we're gonna concentrate on. We're gonna highlight. But the fact that this guy was able to help this toddler, just think about it. You got traffic in Wisconsin, you got traffic in New York, you got traffic everywhere you go. You can have that rush hour traffic or whatever kind of traffic you may have. But the fact is, this child is walking in the streets barefooted, and someone was able to help. And that's the stories we want to highlight. And so I'm going to continue actually what I want to say. I want to continue with my stories with the Guardian Angel story. This Guardian Angel is from Fort Worth, Texas. She's a 64-year-old retiree. She she actually is stuck on helping others who may be unable to get to like the doctor's offices or whatever they need that's important. And so this is an inspiring story of her doing just that. She was featured on CBS Mornings, and here's just a snippet of that particular interview.
6 chemotherapy treatments and countless doctor's visits.
She's my guardian.
Hi, you look so pretty.
Over the last year, Lynn has driven April to more than 25 radiation appointments, 6 chemotherapy treatments, and countless doctor's visits.
She's my guardian angel because I didn't have any family to help me fight, but I had a new family to help me fight. Thank you for allowing me to get treatment for my cancer so I could be here today.
You know you're welcome.
Thank you.
How could I not do it? So I don't, in a way, I don't expect or understand the praise that I may get for it because it just seems so natural to do it.
And it seems so right.
Yes.
Wow, what an inspirational story of someone helping those. Now she's retired, she has time on her hands, and she wants to help someone else. Her story is so inspiring, and I advise you guys to go to cbsnews.com and look for that story because there's so much more to that story. She's helped some other people out as well. I highlighted that particular one, but she also tells her story about 45 years ago when she was in jail. She got arrested for stealing, and how that impacted her, and how that she got a second chance. It was an embarrassment for her, but she was able to get a second chance, and her life was changed. And in turn, she was able to help somebody else. And I think that's so important that we need to understand that no matter what we have done in our past, we still can have a redemption story, and we still can come out great, you know? And so I like to hear stories like that, to hear how it affected her, stealing and different things like that, but how she was determined to change her life. And not only that, she found a way to help others out. And so that lady's story, her cancer story, she said in that story that she didn't have a family, but she gained a family. And so your family may not be blood, but you can have people that become family for you. And so that was her guardian angel, and she was a guardian angel to some other people as well. So I do ask you to go watch that story, CBS News. It's from CBS Mornings. I'm sure you can find it at cbsnews.com. Such a great story. I want to end this segment with another feel-good story, but it's entertainment at the box office.
For most of human civilization, we believed that life could only exist on the surface of our planet.
Won't you come on in?
This world has more secrets than we could possibly imagine.
Miracles I get. Still happen now and then.
What is that?
That's not Kong. What could have done this?
First of all, doesn't it feel good to be able to go back to the movies? I mean, we dealt with COVID for like 2.5 years, and we couldn't go to the movie theater. We had to watch from home and different things like that. But it's something, at least for me, that feels good about going into the theater, being able to sit in the seats, get the popcorn, the whole thing that goes with being in the movies. You got the big screen, you got the surround sound, you got people there, you have the fellowship and different things like that. So it's just a wonderful thing. And so what's number one at the box office is Godzilla Kong, The New Empire. I got it completely messed up in the beginning. But this particular movie was number one at the box office, and they have made over $361 million so far. I believe it premiered in March, the end of March. And so they're doing really good. And number two is Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, followed by Monkey Man, which my sister said she actually saw on Sunday. And she said to me, it was pretty good. It was just long. And she actually fell asleep, she said, because it was so long, unnecessarily long. But Either way, those are the top 3 movies: Godzilla Kong, The New Empire, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, and Monkey Man, the top 3. Those are your stories that make you feel good this morning. So let's get on with everything else and go to our quick bite. It's time for the quick bite. Huh. All right, it's time for the Journey with James quick bite. For you guys who may not know, I've been doing vlogs for a number of years at this company. And I'm just from my heart right from this head here, something that may encourage you. I know for me, dealing with the pressures of life can really take a toll on you. And let me tell you, for me, life has been lifing, but I'm finding solace in God. I'm finding solace in knowing that things got to change. Things got to change for the better. We look at things with the flesh, and that's one thing that I know that I have been doing. I would look at something and say, oh my God, how am I gonna get out of this situation, or how am I gonna get out of that situation? But I'm learning more and more the power of turning to God, the power of really trusting Him. We know He says that faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. It talks about that in Hebrews 11:1. But do we really activate that? Do we really understand what it means? You know, knowing that sometimes we can't see the blessing that's coming. We can't see how that's going to change around, but we should hold in our heart and know and believe by faith that it's going to work out. And so the situations that I have going on, some of them are big, some of them are small, some are minor, but some of them feel like it can take you out. But I know for sure that I'm going to trust God in the situation. I'm going to trust Him because at my age, at 41 years old, I can't think of a time that He hasn't been there for me. I can't think of a time He came right at the last minute and worked that thing out. I can't think of a time that He wasn't there for me. So we know that God is a present help, but we have to understand that we have to learn to activate the faith that's within our heart. And sometimes that's one of the hardest things that we can do, because we want to take things in our hands. We want to do things on our way, and we get in our own way, and we don't really put it in God's hands. We don't really trust Him. And in essence, we don't get to where we need to go. And so I am challenging you today to truly give whatever it is in your heart, give anything that's in your mind, anything that you're going through, to give it to God. Because when you give it to God, it will work out for you. And that's today's Journey with James quick bite. All right, we're going to end with the question of the day. And this question comes from a viewer. His name is E. And here's the question. What would you say brings you joy in life? What would you say brings me joy in life? The first thing that comes to mind is being able to be alive to speak to you guys. That's a joy. My children are my heart, are my joy. I love them so much. And it's just a blessing to see the creation that God has, that these are what God has blessed me with. And so they give me so much joy. The joy of having the love of family and friends is imperative, and it's so good and needed for me. And so I'm thankful, and it gives me joy. It gives me joy to be able to help somebody else. It gives me joy to be up here to encourage your heart. It gives me joy to be able to love on somebody else and speak life to someone else about the goodness of God. It gives me joy to have fun. It gives me joy to express myself. It gives me joy to dance sometime. It just gets so many things that gives me joy. And so those are the things that gives me joy in my life. Just knowing that I am God's creation, just knowing that I am somebody special, all those things make sense. So what gives you joy? And that's the question. And so we're 15 minutes in. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you had a good morning, and I hope you are blessed. So please join me tomorrow for another Morning with James. Take care.